If you ever thought that fishing in freshwater was boring, then please, please, please think again, because this is predator fishing European style, and this is the World Predator Classic. There are 342 competitors from all across Europe and as far away as America taking part in this magnificent event. It's the third time the World Predator Classic has run, and this weekend there will be anglers competing in street fishing, kayak and boat disciplines, looking to be one of those lucky anglers that wins one of the magnificent prizes on offer and, of course, that major title. There's 200 anglers on foot in the street event, 40 in the kayak event, and 102 anglers competing out in the main lake on the boat. This is the biggest event of its kind in Europe.
It's a fantastic competition. It's a huge competition. Fishing world is here and will be very fine. We start at kayak category and first time.
I try my best and I just hope I keep myself in one piece. And also my friend, my vice captain, he's also really competitive guy, so it's going to be interesting to see the 3 days how it's going to be.
If I would win this competition together with my mate, yeah, that would absolutely great. It would be the greatest thing I ever do, yeah, that's for sure. But it's difficult. There are a lot of good fishermen here.
The World Predator Classic launched 3 years ago and in that time has become the major event in the European predator angling calendar. Based out of Hellevoetsluis in Holland, it takes place on the impressive Haringvliet, a massive piece of fresh water reclaimed from the sea. There are deep areas, shallow banks, islands and weed beds that are perfect hunting ground for perch, zander and pike, the target species in this event. The town itself has a significant naval history and was the base for the Dutch fleet in the 18th century. A large harbour and canal with a moat surrounding the town make it the ideal place for street fishing. Competitive predator angling from street, kayak and boat is increasing in popularity across Europe as more and more anglers join the predator revolution. Each country, of course, has its own experts, and Holland, Belgium and Finland are tipped to be the favourites in a boat category, with Germany leading the street section. Each country has its own distinctive style of fishing for the same species of fish, and the big question on everyone's lips is which will be the successful one. In recent years, it's been the Belgian pairing of Coppens and Staveman that have dominated the predator scene. Jeremy, Luke, back to defend the title. How's it been as a year yet again as champions?
Very great. It was unbelievable for us to win it twice, and we also won the European Championship, so also twice. So for us it's like we have to tell each other regularly because we think we are dreaming still. If you say it, it's still unbelievable.
What would it be like to win it a third time?
Yeah, it's always unrealistic. I always go to a tournament like, would it be possible to win? Because if you see all these boats and you think in yourself, oh my God, what is this? We did it a few times in a row, but it's unrealistic. So even now, if we can start, I also have the feeling, oh my God, what am I doing here? Do I make a chance? And but sometimes it happens, and yeah.
Well, you're certainly on a roll. Jeremy, we'll finish off with you now. Practice has gone well, presumably.
Yes, I have to admit, you never know, but I have to admit it worked like our plan until now. But still, it can depend on a lot of things, like other people choosing the same spots, you never know that, or the weather, or the color of the water. So we're not sure, of course, as always, but we think we've done in the preparation what we can.
On the boat now with Jeremy Staveman and Luke Coppens. And Jeremy, Luke's fishing over there. What exactly are you trying to do at the moment when you're lure fishing? What are you trying to replicate?
Well, it's several things. Of course, the purpose is to get predator fish to strike, to get your lure. But there are two things. You can make him look like it's real food, or you can trigger the bite reflex. It's like if you play, you can compare it if you play with a cat. He knows if you're a rope or something like that, he knows it's not food. But because if you do it the right way, he must attack. So that's the different things we try to do.
During the competition and during we are fishing, we decide, will we move a little bit further? How long do we stay on the spot? I always decide how deep do I keep the boat. That's very important, because sometimes we fish to the reeds. It's also important that you know a little bit about the spots, how big is the weed, what kind of weed is there, or maybe we are fishing on structures, all this kind of stuff.
What's your job on the boat then? How do the two of you work together as a team?
Luc is the captain, of course, so he steers the boat. Of course, in normal driving, but that's not the most important. But he steers the boat with the electric engine, and that's a really tough job, because you see there's very windy now, and it's very difficult to keep the boat in the right position. So that's Luc's job, and a lot of things are like you do together.
When I look for zander, for example, I look also for drop-offs. Also very important is the color of the water. I see many people that don't realize, they never look to the water. I'm looking to the water every moment of the day, because on a big lake like here, maybe here when you come out it's clear, but maybe 1 kilometer further away it's murky. He has a fish, crazy. Here's a fish.
Oh,
very nice.
Zander. So we have a zander. I've got to say that we're in the harbour just before the competition starts, and you know what? There's been guys fishing around here all the time for the last couple of days. Nobody's really caught anything. So yeah, well, Luke's going to give him a bit of a hand there, and we'll have a look at exactly what a zander is.
I think it's a nice one, 60 plus, 60 centimeter plus.
So this is a zander, and this is one of the target species that the guys are going to be catching out here. Decent fish, 60 centimetres plus.
In competition, it's very good.
Very good.
If you have three this size, you can win the day. Of course, you need the 3 perch and 1 pike. Very nice strike. It took the lure almost entirely.
So I'm here with Christian Biervet. Now, he has fished in this event for the last 2 years. He's going to be helping me out by keeping an eye on the guys out on the water, seeing what they're doing. Why do you think the zander are easier to catch? Is it the water levels? Is the water slightly more coloured than it was previously, or do you just think that the fish are moving here because of the water levels?
Yeah, this might be the case, that it's because there was a lot of rain in Germany and the Netherlands, and it's pushing a lot of water here. I think 2 weeks ago there was only muddy brown water here, and now it's clearing up. The fish start to eat again, so then it's easier to catch them also.
Glamorous machinery, serious amounts of power and some incredibly high tech make the Predator boat class the fishing equivalent of Formula One. A fully equipped machine with all the gadgets can cost upwards of £100,000, but as with any sport, you still need the skill in knowing how to use the kit. Kayak fishing is an area of the sport that is really growing at the moment, and the guys are also tricked out with sonar, GPS and all sorts of other gadgetry to make their lives easier. They may not look as glamorous as the powerboats, but believe me, the event is equally hotly contested. The final class is street fishing, which is the easiest and rawest form of the sport. All they need is a rod, net and bag, and of course their wits about them to get into the best spots first. Anglers compete on foot and race each other around the streets, trying to catch as many fish as possible. The street event is run in 3 legs across 2 days. Day 1 in the morning and early afternoon, then they break and they go back out again for that killing time for the predators. Low light, evening into dark. They then return again the following day for another day session, and the winner will be the angler that measures the longest distance of fish caught across those sessions. In addition to that, there are prizes for the biggest fish of each individual species. The kayak event is run over 3 days. Day 1, out on the main waters of the herring fleet. Day 2, they go into one of the canals nearby, and day 3, back out onto the main waters again. And the winner of the kayak event is the angler that records the greatest length of fish, but once again, just like the street event, there are prizes for the biggest fish of each individual species. The main event is of course the boat event, and that's 3 legs fished over 3 days. All of the boats go out onto the main body of water, the herring fleet out here from Hellevoetsluis, and their aim is to try and catch 3 perch, 3 zander and 1 pike. Now the bigger they are the better, because the winner in each day will be the team that records the longest combined length of all of those fish put together. Now win your day, you get 1 point. Come second, you get 2 points, all the way down to last place, which will give you 50 points. The same process is repeated on day 2, the same process again on day 3, and the overall world predator champion will be the team that records the lowest point score over those 3 days. What's the prize? Well, it's an absolutely magnificent boat.